Won't you put your hands together and welcome the pastor of the Bethel Baptist Institutional Church of Jacksonville, Florida, the Reverend Dr. Rudolph McKissick Jr.
I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. We are thankful to God for this glorious day. We give all honor to the Spirit of Christ. We honor today the tribal chieftain of the city of Trinity, the Reverend Dr. Jeremiah A. Wright Jr. No, that's right. To all of these preachers and pastors who have been proclaiming and who are yet to come, to all of you who are disciples of the city of Trinity, to all of you, my brothers and sisters in the Lord, ladies and gentlemen, we greet you in the name of Him who orders our steps, meets us with mercy. And we're thankful in the language of antiquity that He has allowed our golden days to roll on just a little while longer. What's up, Trinity? Yeah. So glad to see you all here today. Want to thank all of you for all of your prayers over the last few months. We bless God for being here in our right mind. And for all of y'all who came down to Jacksonville with Uncle Jay and just destroyed my church, left my church in ruins, I want to thank you for all of you being there. Glad to be here today, and with all these preachers who act like they don't have any sense and just preaching like, you know, it just ain't no tomorrow. And so we thank God. Now, if I can get a little more, right? Why y'all laughing? Because you knew I was going to do that, right? Yeah, just a little more in this one right here. I'll be all right. Everything will be in the house. Yeah, all right. Praise the Lord. I have the fifth word. I didn't have that one last year. The fifth word is found in John's Gospel in the 19th chapter and verse 28. It says, after this, Jesus, knowing that all things were now accomplished, that the scriptures might be fulfilled, he said, I thirst. Now a vessel full of sour wine or vinegar was sitting there, and they filled a sponge with it, put it on hyssop, and put it up to his mouth. This particular word is the shortest and seemingly most insignificant of all of the sayings from the cross. There does not seem to be anything spiritual or messianic about it. There's nothing powerful or mystical going on. He's thirsty, and that seems to be easy to understand. He just wants something to drink, and it would be easy for me to deal with the normal exegetical nuggets that would be present here in this fifth word. It would be easy to talk about how it shows the reality that Jesus was thoroughly human, and how it shows his humanity ought to make us feel good, because it lets us know once again that there is nothing we go through that he does not go through. It would be easy for me to deal with that. It would be easy for me to help you remember in the historical context that John is writing around 100 AD when Gnosticism was alive and well, and that he is writing to prove a point to Gnostics who said that spirit was real and matter was evil, and that Jesus hanging on the cross in his humanity being thirsty was a way to prove to the Gnostics that this man was fully human, fully divine, and the Messiah. It would be easy for me to deal with all of that, but as I was looking at this, trying to come up with something outside of just he's thirsty, the Lord began to speak some things to my heart that I think I want to share with you here for just a few minutes today. I believe I didn't read this anywhere, didn't read any scholar, it is just my opinion that this word follows a word where he talks about being forsaken, where he talks about a divine disconnect. And maybe that this saying is not just something human, but maybe it's something spiritual, because whenever you feel a disconnect from somebody you've been connected to, you'll be thirsty for reconnection. Maybe he's speaking something beyond what the crowd could understand, because whenever I've been connected to somebody and I feel a disconnect, I want to be reconnected to them, to be reminded of my relationship with them. Have you ever felt disconnect in your own life? Have you ever been through a situation where you felt like God was not up to anything on your behalf, and you had a moment where you said, as the deer panteth for the water, so my soul longeth after thee? I'm a living witness, y'all, that every now and then hell can be so rough in your life that you feel like God is absent because he's not active, and you begin to feel a disconnect, and you say, I'm thirsty, God, for you to show me something that you are in control even when life looks out of control. Because if the truth be told, every now and then you need a reminder that when your life is out of control, God is still in control. Every now and then you need a fresh reminder that God is still sovereign and that God has everything under control. Every now and then when you've been putting up with hell and haters, when you've been putting up with being spit on and beaten, when you've been putting up with being disconnected and forsaken, sometimes you just are thirsty to have a reminder to God to reconnect you, because you ain't through yet. You've got some more talking to do. So God, I need you to reconnect yourself. I'm thirsty for reconnection. I thought about that, but then, y'all, it really hit me. Here is Jesus in a context that doesn't match his calling. He's in a situation that doesn't match what he says. He's got an issue that doesn't match his identity. For here is Jesus, thirsty, if you will, when he's claimed he's living water. Here is Jesus, thirsty, when he's already told one woman that if you drink from my fountain, you'll never be thirsty. Oh God. Here is Jesus in a condition that don't match what he claims. Here is Jesus in a situation that doesn't match what he says. And I believe I'm on somebody's street right now, because you claim that he'll provide all your needs, but you got some stuff going on. You claim he'll heal you, but you're taking some medicine right now. You claim he'll dry your tears, but you cry sometime and don't even know why. You claim he'll give you peace, but sometimes you can't get a good night's sleep. Is there anybody in here ever found yourself in a quandary because your condition doesn't match what you claim and your situation doesn't match what you say? God. And folk look at you like you're crazy for trusting in Jesus, because if Jesus was who you claim, you wouldn't be in your condition. If Jesus did what you said, you wouldn't have your situation. If Jesus made you the identity you have, why you got your issue? It's a messed up situation, because he's got a condition, that ain't matching what he claims. He's got a situation that doesn't match what he says. He's got an issue that doesn't match his identity. He is in a mess. And notice what I really like about this thing is when Jesus is on that cross, Bishop, and when he's asking for something to quench his thirst, he's got a need even though he's the anointed. Because your anointing does not dismantle your humanity. Oh God, he's got a need even though he is the Holy One. And what I like about this thing is he can't sow a seed and get this need met. He can't throw money on a pulpit and get this need met. He can't go to a mega fest and get this need met. He can't speak a tongue and get this need met. He can't claim money coming to me and get this need met, because sometimes you can't deal with superficial slot machine reality and religion to get your needs met. Hey, no. You when you got needs, buddy, sometimes you got to admit that you're going through something. Sometimes you got to admit that you've got a need. need, you can't handle yourself. Look at Jesus. All day long, he's been meeting other people's needs. But now he's in a situation where he needs somebody to help him. Have you ever been there where you're able to help everybody else, but then you get in a situation where what you did for other folk, you can't do for yourself? Woo, have you ever been there before where you're able to pray for others, but you can't pray for yourself? You can give others a word of encouragement, but you can't speak on yourself. You can lay hands on other folk, but you can't lay hands on yourself. It's a terrible thing when you can't do for yourself what others you've been able to do for. You've got to admit sometimes that you have a need. My God, you've got to be honest with yourself that I got a need that I need somebody to help me with. You got to face it before you can fix it. Jesus didn't hang on that cross manning up. He said, I'm thirsty. I've got a need. And you don't want God to arrange a situation to prove to you that there's some stuff you can't do for yourself. You don't need God to orchestrate an opportunity to show you that there's some things you got to depend on community to get done. And so here he is. Watch him. He says, I thirst. I found this, Uncle Jay, kind of weird because he's thirsty and he says, I'm thirsty, as if he's asking for something to drink. And that's odd to me because he died. So what should it matter? I mean, you're about to die. Does it really matter that you're thirsty? I'm thinking, now Jesus, if you dying, why are you worrying about getting something to drink? And the Spirit said to me, because obviously he ain't through talking. He got more. And then it made sense to me why they put sour wine or vinegar, because I was an opera major, so I know a few things about the anatomical makeup of this part we call the vocal cords. And that vinegar is not just something that's bitter. It is not just something to anesthetize the pain. But when you get vinegar by itself, it has the same effect as if you are sucking on a lemon by itself. It puts your vocal cords into shock, causing them to rub together so that when you open your mouth, nothing comes out. They weren't just trying to deaden the pain. They were trying to give him something to keep his mouth shut, because they've seen enough of what happens when he opens up his mouth. Oh, I feel like preaching this thing. They've already seen what happens when he opens his mouth. When he opens his mouth, folk get over it. When he opens up his mouth, he takes a gangster on a cross, gives him a hip-hop heaven, and gives him a gangster's paradise. When he opens up his mouth, he redefines relationships. When he opens up his mouth, he talks about being forsaken, but they'd already heard he opened up his mouth and demons got to running. He opened up his mouth and loose stammering tongues got loose. He opened up his mouth, dead folk came out the grave. He opened up his mouth, folk got healed of their condition. They said, we got to shut him up because too much good happens when he opens up his mouth. Can I tell you why some folk don't like you? Because when you open up your mouth, stuff starts happening. Hey. Woo. When you open up your mouth, your house gets healed. When you open up your mouth, demons get scared. And so folk try to give you vinegar to shut you up. But would you high five your neighbor and tell him, I ain't shutting up? Because they've seen what happens, hey, when you open up your mouth. And so they offer vinegar, Reggie, to try to shut you up. Yes, they offer vinegar like faith-based initiatives to shut you up. They offer you plane rides over storms with a dumb president to shut you up. Oh, I'm preaching. They offer you political offices to shut you up. They put you on the front of big black enterprise to make you feel like you are an entrepreneur instead of a prophet to shut you up. They offer you positions like Condoleezza Rice to shut you up. They start trying to offer you stuff to shut you up. They try to offer you things to keep your mouth closed. That's why if you ain't got nothing else, you got your mouth. And as long as you open your mouth, baby, you can make things happen. That's why God said, I'm looking for some preachers who won't take the vinegar but learn how to open up their mouth. Because when you open up your mouth, you ain't making folk rich, but you're liberating them. When you open up your mouth, you'll speak against a government that will give Iraqis a place to vote, but can't find folk from New Orleans to get them a place to vote. When you open up your mouth, you won't be satisfied with FEMA giving us trailers, but you'll make them rebuild our homes. When you open up your mouth, you'll tell the preacher it ain't about a Bentley spinning on 20s. It's about liberating folk to live for the glory of God. You've got to open up your mouth. All right. I'm through. Let me cut across the field. Bid y'all good afternoon. Watch this. So they give him vinegar to shut him up. But this is just the fifth word. I believe Lance is the one to say church folk don't know when to shout. They give him vinegar to shut him up. But this is just the fifth word. He's got two more things he's going to say. Y'all missed it. They gave him vinegar to shut him up. But this ain't nothing but the fifth word. He says two more things. Because God is so awesome. He'll take what they give you to shut you up and use it to blow you up. God will take what folk do to kill you and use it to elevate you. I came by to make an announcement today. The stuff folk are doing to try to kill you, God's going to use it to take you to the next level. The stuff folk are doing to you to try to take you off that job, that's going to be your promotion. The stuff that Negro is doing to try to steal your identity, God's going to make you know you a real queen. How many of y'all in here can say, God, I thank you that what they mean for evil, you'll mean for my good. He'll make your haters your elevators, and he'll take the stuff they do to you and let it be a blessing for your life. I was trying to figure out what to call this thing. I was going to call it I Ain't Through Talking. I was going to call it I Got Something to Say. But then I was listening to 92.7 The Beat Jams, your best of R&B and hip-hop flavor in Jacksonville. Oh yes, and DJ Cool came on, and DJ Cool gave me the hip. He said, let me clear my throat. The next time somebody comes against you, just clear your throat in their face. The next time somebody lies on you, just clear your throat in their face. Would you look at your neighbor and just say, I'm clearing my throat because I'm letting you know that everything they did to me, God's going to use to bless me. Some of y'all need to go home today, get on the phone with all your enemies, and when they say hello, clear your throat and hang up. Go to your job on Monday. When you walk by your haters, clear your throat and keep on going. Is there anybody in here who can stand up right now because you know that the Lord took their evil and gave you a blessing? He took their obstacle and gave you an opportunity. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Won't he fight that battle? Won't he make that enemy your footstool? Won't he give you joy in sorrow? Won't he give you hope for tomorrow? Won't he turn your problems to possibilities? Won't he, won't he, won't he, won't he, won't he? Won't he, won't he, won't he, won't he, won't he? Say yeah. Yeah. Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah. Yeah. I'm clearing my throat. Yeah. Yeah. Ah, yeah.
bless, I will bless the Lord at all times. All time. I will bless at all times.